It's the Daily Dog.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for hanging out with me today. It's a Wednesday. You have arrived on another one of our guest DJ episodes. I am very excited today to react to a song that has been requested to us by guest DJ Thom, who won some of our trivia last month. Thank you, Thom, for this very interesting selection. Thom has picked I Won't Back Down, the classic tune by Tom Petty. However, he has picked an electronic inspired cover version of it, and I'm open to electronica and these types of sounds that are coming through these days, but I'm not very well versed in all of the techniques that are being used. So it's going to be a fun, immersive experience for me, especially since it's taking its inspiration as one of the classic rock tunes in American popular culture of the late 80s. And so let's get into it, y'all. I Won't Back Down was co-written by Tom Petty and Jeff Lynne, and it featured as the lead single from Tom's first solo album, Full Moon Fever, released in 1989. And man, what a great recording. I can remember back in the day being, a 12, 13-year-old kid and just thought it was great. And what I didn't realize back in the day was the giants that were on that recording. George Harrison joined in on guitar. Jeff Lynne was playing the bass. And just a really great all-around track that topped the U.S. rock charts and has long been certified as being multi-platinum. So let's get to this cover version by Hybrid. As I read in, Hybrid are pioneers of electronic music. They are known for their cinematic approach to their production, especially with the use of orchestral patches and recordings. They are originally from Wales, but are now based in England. Hybrid was formed in 1995, and over the years they have produced over 100 remixes of popular songs from leading artists like U2 and REM and from Tom Petty. And their music has also been included in popular television shows, in film, and in game soundtracks. These people sound like they are at the top of their game here. So their cover of I Won't Back Down is the final track from their fifth album called Light of the Fearless, which was released in 2018. And this particular album was made in conjunction with various movies that the duo of Hybrid was scoring at the time, including Vice and Billionaire Ransom and Interlude in Prague. And they had assistance from the Prague Philharmonic Orchestra in doing this recording. So I Won't Back Down is the only cover that they included on that particular album. It's the longest track at almost 8 minutes, and this fascinates me, y'all, because the original Tom Petty version is only 3 minutes. So it's going to be really interesting for me to see how they lengthen it and what they do with it. Since 2015, Hybrid has been a duo, and they are Mike and Charlotte Truman, a husband and wife team. And on this particular recording, Mike did the programming, the modular synths, the sound design, the mixing, and the production. And Charlotte provided the vocals and some of the instrumental performance. And she also wrote the orchestral arrangement to this. So I am ready to go, y'all. I don't think we need more introduction than that. This is going to be a cover like I don't think we've heard of I Won't Back Down, the classic tune by Tom Petty, and it's Hybrid with their cover of it. Off we go. Okay. That's an epic sort of sound. Wow. Lovely suspension. is an E flat. E flat minor. Down to the 6. Down to 4, minor 4. How is I Won't Back Down gonna fit into this? That's a great chord. Well, one way they make it longer is to make it a slower tempo. That chord. They're landing on the 2 chord instead of the 1 chord. That's 6 to 5 to 4 if you're in the major key. 6, 5. Should go to 1, but they're going to 2 instead. Back down. And that becomes the 7th of that chord. That's cool. Flat 6, flat 7, 1. They turned it into a minor key. Boom, boom, that's flat 6. Boom, flat 7. This is great. Do that, then they go up. I've never heard, I don't think, a piece of electronic music that's this well mixed and connected with both the electronic sounds and just acoustical sounds from a real orchestra. It's fascinating. That's the 7th of that key thing. Yeah. They're in E flat, right? And that note is the D flat, the 7th of the key. Six, 4, 6, 7. It's like a halftime feel but it doesn't bother me. Stand my ground. How cool is this? Complete reimagining of the tune, which I almost appreciate more than just doing a straight cover. Straight covers are great, but taking the source material and just warping it into a completely new piece of art that still pays tribute to and exalts the original version. That's cool. Flat 6, flat 7. Is that it? You know, I'm a fan, Thom. I'm a fan. This doesn't surprise me from Thom. I've worked a little bit with Thom in the past on some of his own work, and Thom is really into writing these electric sounds, and I'm learning more and more about them as I go, and I'm really intrigued by the way that this happens. So, how did they do this? I Won't Back Down by Tom Petty is in G. Let's see. It's a well, I won't back down, right? Well, I won't back down. 6, 5 to 1, right? It goes to the G chord, right? It's La, Sol, Mi, but it's over the one chord. They do two things. They move it down. They move everything down a half step. Should go there, but they don't do that. They don't go to that one chord. They give you the minor chord. That's the key that they're in. They go down to flat 7, and then they go to there, the third of what we would think of, but it's this chord instead of that chord. They go La, Sol, Mi, but it's over the 2 chord instead of the 1 chord. And so that's how they're able to make all of this feel like it's in the relative minor, instead of starting on the relative minor chord and then ending up on the major 1 chord. They never give you the major 1 chord, which would be G flat in this key. They never give that to you. And so the whole thing feels like it's just written in E flat minor instead of in a major key. And it's a really, really interesting way to reharmonize a melody that's diatonic. The melody doesn't have any chromatics in it, so they use that melody and they switched it to make it sound like it's coming from the relative minor key, and then they just never give you relative major, and the whole thing goes from there. I'm excited about this. So, about the album, Mike and Charlotte from Hybrid say that these pieces on this album have been inspired by events in their own lives, as well as major social happenings around the time that they were creating it, including the Women's March that was in 2017, in the early part of 2017, and the March for Our Lives event that was in 2018 here in America, and that the music on their album is their attempt to provide a positive and confident stance on moving forward through adversity and regaining empowerment. And instead of including a myriad of political statements in the music itself, they have instead decided to give some buoyancy and light of the fearless, right? Because what's the name of the album? It's Light of the Fearless, right? To kind of buoy us as we continue to not back down in a pursuit of justice and a better, more equitable society. So I'm into it. It makes me want to hear the rest of it. I have not really learned much about the electronic interface, especially with orchestral music. And I know that I'm behind the times on that, but I'm going to catch up as much as I am able to, because we live in the 21st century now, y'all. So the sky's the limit on what you can create, because that's two folks that have created that, and it's breathtaking. It's absolutely breathtaking. So thank you, Thom, for being our guest DJ today and our trivia winner, and for selecting a really fascinating electronic cover of I Won't Back Down, originally written by Tom Petty and Jeff Lynne. And here it is covered by Hybrid with Mike and Charlotte Truman. Great stuff, and I'm looking forward to listening to more of their work. But that's all for today. I thank y'all for hanging out with me, and we will see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.